In the throwaway mystery, Frank is forced to do an emergency plane landing while dying from poisoned mushrooms. It's somewhat odd. I wouldn't expect Joe to be able to pronounce muscarine poisoning, much less name all the symptoms after taking a class years ago. Joe's brief moment of intelligence passes, as he decides Frank should keep flying the plane. Yes, Frank is drugged and can't see anything. Joe still thinks it's okay for him to land a plane. Joe is an idiot.
Argo Font Book Review. Argo Font Book Review.
Frank and Joe are grocery shopping with Aunt Trudy when the store announces Joe won a turkey-shaped piñata. As usual, Joe is too stupid to realize winning a contest he didn't enter is a cover for an ATAC mission. He starts flirting with the girl at the store, and the real mystery is how ATAC hasn't gotten at least 10 reports about Joe committing sexual harassment. Today's mission is at the Haven, a center for runaway teens in New York. Ethan Davis discovered the Haven's big secret, and he was pushed in front of a moving train. Personally, I would have called this book No Safe Haven. Pushed is too generic, too short, and I had trouble finding this book because it is buried in library catalogs under hundreds of other books that have a variation of push in the title. The Hardys become runaways and arrive at the Haven, where they meet the various suspects. Tess Markham owns the place and focuses on the fundraising side of things, while Sandy Lewis runs the day-to-day operations. There's a girl named Lily Fowler who went to elementary school with the Hardys. She and the other teens start a fight with Mark, who stole the victim's clothes and other possessions. Frank remembers the victim had a cardboard box on him when he died. The Hardys search for the box at the subway. They get into an argument with a homeless man, and as usual for books where the Hardys visit New York, they almost get hit by a subway train. That's gotta be at least the 5th time I've seen it happen. The Hardys should really start avoiding the New York subways. The victim's cardboard box contains photographs of him committing crimes. Thanks to a helpful reflection in a picture, the Hardys see it was taken by a red-headed teenager in Washington Square Park. Her name is the Artful Dodger. Olivia Gorman. She runs a ring of thieves and tries to recruit the Hardys. She makes Joe steal a rich man's wallet, and she takes a picture of him doing it. Lily recognizes the Hardys and instantly knows they're here on a case. She dated the victim, and she suspects his father is the killer. Mr. Davis is running for mayor of Long Island. Mr. Davis seems upset about his son's death, but when he sees the photographs, he assumes the Hardys are blackmailers, and he kicks them out of the house. Lily gets mad at the Hardy boys for giving up so quickly. What, you talk to a suspect for 3 minutes, then quit the instant they get mad? Yeah, pretty much. The Hardys get a threatening note, and Mark starts yelling at Tess. She invites him for a personal chat in her office. After that, he refuses to say anything. Mark rushes to Olivia, yells at her, and destroys her camera. For the sake of the plot, the Hardys decide not to follow their new number one suspect. Instead, they split up. Joe goes to Olivia, who forces him to steal a camera from a store. Frank goes to Mr. Davis's campaign office and confirms he has an alibi for the murder. In the meantime, Mark is killed. See, this is why they shouldn't have left their number one suspect alone. They break into the morgue just in time to see Mark's body get taken away. According to the signed paperwork, Tess sent his body to an anonymous graveyard, not his parents'. The Hardys suspect Tess is the culprit, but they have no proof. No proof? What? You guys have a signed document. Doesn't that count as proof? Whatever. The Hardys wake up at 3 a.m. and spend 2 hours cracking the safe in Tess's office. Frank talks about the process in so much detail that Joe interrupts the narrative twice to tell him to shut up. It was funny. Tess's files contain everyone's secret contact information as well as Olivia's blackmail photos. The Hardys catch Lily sending them a second threat. She claims the threats were a misguided warning, and she sent them on a wild goose chase after Mr. Davis because the book was 2 chapters short. Because she wanted to protect them. Lily recognizes two of the people in Tess's secret files. They left the Haven to go to college. The Hardys check with the colleges to learn it's a lie. Tess raised money for their school expenses, but she kept it for herself. Once again, the Hardys decide documents don't count as proof, so they need more to catch Tess. They use Joe as bait. He pretends to catch on to Tess's scheme, so she'll try to kill him. If you ask me, Tess should be far more concerned about the fact that 3 different people discovered her crimes in a 2-week span. Tess sends Olivia to kill Joe on the subway. She stabs Joe with the syringe, but Frank tackles her before she pushes the plunger. The book ends on the very next page with the boys eating dinner. You want to know what happened to the culprits and all the other characters? Too bad! You get to see the Hardys hang out with Mom. The end. Post-book follow-up. This was a good book. The story feels like it's always moving, even when they're chasing down dead ends, and everything comes together in a nice way. The story would still hold up, even if there was a different detective solving the case. But really, I like the book because the writing is great. There are lots of snappy one-liners and pop culture references which still stand up today. There are only a few places for improvement. Give us a throwaway mystery that's relevant to the rest of the book. Give us an actual ending, not a one-page Thanksgiving scene that sidesteps everything in the story except for Lily. Lily was a good addition to the story. It is interesting and different for the Hardys to have a personal connection to one of the suspects. Here's a minor continuity issue. Unlike the rest of the series, the chapter titles in this book are in all caps. It feels like the book is shouting at me. I give Hardy Boys Undercover Brothers number 17 pushed a 9 out of 10.